Hi folks, Mark Armitage coming from my electron microscope room. I'm going to try to do this quickly in the interest of time. I don't know if you saw the gotcha question that was asked of presidential hopeful Scott Walker when he was in England. I wanted to review this little clip from CNN, and here you see on the ticker, Walker dodges evolution question. We're going to talk about that and also his response. But you know, here we are, March 2015, and the country seems to be worse off than ever before. There was a landslide Stop Obama election in 2014. Yes, we're going to get out of politics and get back to evolution. But nothing has changed. After this landslide election to stop Obama, we're not seeing any change. And so here we see CNN dripping with sarcasm. They say Walker dodges the evolution question, sort of intimating that Walker did something wrong, something unsavory. And I want you to hear what this commentator says. He talks about, maybe I should send this question to the Natural History Museum. I'll just start this and play it straight through.
I'm tempted to move this part of the segment to the Natural History Museum at the Smithsonian here in Washington. But across the pond in London yesterday, maybe Republican presidential candidates have just stopped going to London. They don't tend to have good visits when they go. Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin, who has been jumping up in the polls in Iowa and in New Hampshire and elsewhere in recent days, gets asked this question about science.
Are you comfortable with the idea of evolution? Do you believe in it? Do you accept it?
For me, I'm gonna punt on that one as well.
No.
Really? That's a question a politician shouldn't be involved in one way or the other. So I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Any British politician, right or left wing, would laugh and say, yes, of course evolution's true.
Any British politician, whether conservative or liberal, would laugh. Ha ha, really? You're going to dodge the evolution question? This is a gotcha question, folks. And we're going to talk about why they're doing this and why they're mocking people who don't believe in evolution. Now notice that the reporter asks, are you comfortable? Do you believe in evolution? Now, regardless of the answer that Scott Walker could have given, and I don't think he gave a very good answer here, he said, I'm going to punt. And I'm going to give you a better answer, Scott Walker, that you should have given to these folks at the end of my little discussion here. But regardless of the answer that he could have given, why is nobody asking the question, are you comfortable with, or do you believe in car crashes? Now, nobody asked that question. Why? Because we observe car crashes every day of the week. No one has to say, do you believe in something that we don't observe? Car crashes. Because it's intuitive. We all know that car crashes happen. They keep asking this question, do you believe in evolution? And I have to tell you, the reason they're asking that question is because they have to validate their belief in evolution. There is a crisis of confidence on the part of these folks who believe or hold to evolution, and they ask this as a gotcha question so that they can mock the person who refuses to answer it. I don't care how many times you say to me or to anybody else in the general public or on TV, evolution is fact. I don't care how many times you say that. You can say that until your lips turn blue. It doesn't make it fact because it's not observable. It's not observed. They pile up all this supposed information, these evidences, this data that supposedly support and prove evolution. They don't prove a thing because we don't observe evolution happening. That's why it's still called a theory. And there's many wonderful evidences, as we're in the business of showing, particularly with soft tissue and dinosaur bone, that these millions of years don't exist, ergo evolution cannot exist. Because if you don't have millions of years, you don't have a prayer for evolution. In fact, if the earth is young, you need to pray. Because your little house of cards called evolution comes collapsing down. Now here is the latest cover, the March 2015 issue of National Geographic, The War on Science. This is their cover story, folks. Why are they characterizing this as a war on science? Really? It's a war on science? We're actually battling them against science? Are we formidable at all? When you compare the resources that they have, the numbers that they have, the fact that they control the publishing industry, they control the granting agencies, NSA, NSF, all of NIH, all of the big granting agencies that provide money to study the science of evolution. They control the publishing industry, all the museums. And so here we are, this little ragtag group of people, and we're actually successfully mounting a war against them. Why do they characterize this as a war? Because they're afraid of the facts. They're not afraid of me, although they are threatened by people like me who show dynamic information about the incredible preservation of soft tissues and dinosaur bone. They're afraid of the facts, and that's why we have to be defrauded, mocked, mischaracterized, and thrown away. We're nobodies when you think about it. We have no resources or limited resources. We have nothing like the power and the prestige that the evolutionists have, and so we're like ants compared to them, but they are threatened. Why? Because of the facts. And so they call it a war, and they say climate change does not exist. They say evolution never happened. This is a war on science. It's not a war against their belief system, which is really the root of the matter. It's a war on science. They characterize it as the religious nuts against science. And folks, if we're the village idiots, why are we anything to be feared? If I'm a village idiot, why do you have to characterize it as a war? Why don't you just dismiss me as a person asking, do you believe in car crashes? Do you see the point? I am the village idiot according to them. And let me just read you from page 34 here. They say, we live in an age when all manner of scientific knowledge, from the safety of fluoride and vaccines to the reality of climate change, faces organized and often furious opposition. Really? That's how you're characterizing me, the village idiot, as being an organized and furious opposition to them? Come on. Come on. You're afraid of the facts. You're afraid of radio halos in diamonds. You're afraid of radio halos in granites. You're afraid of helium in zircons. You're afraid of soft tissue and dinosaur bones. All things that I've published on and will continue to publish on as long as I'm able to. But you throw me away. You throw me out of California State University, Northridge, because you're afraid of the facts that I'm bringing to the attention of people that you are trying to control, the students and the young minds. And students, let me ask you a question. Are you thinking for yourself? Are you learning to think critically? Or are you just swallowing down what your evolutionary professors are telling you? Because there are two sides to this story, and you would do a disservice to yourself if you don't educate yourself properly on all the evidences that are out there. Now, Scott Walker, God bless you. I'm happy for you that you're making a run for the President of the United States. But let me help you in this area of how to answer these gotcha questions. When they ask you, do you believe in evolution? And this is for anyone dealing with the gotcha questions, particularly Scott Walker and any other of the Republican candidates. The best way to answer that question is with a question. And here's the question that you ask reporters like this. Do you believe that we should save the whales? Why? Why should we save the whales? Try to get an honest answer out of him about why we should save the whales or the spotted gnatcatcher or, endangered snails or endangered ants or whatever it is that they're trying to save. Just go onto Google and type in "save the" and do a search and look at all the things that come up, all the issues that come up on saving these organisms. Why? Why should we save all these organisms like the whales? Let them tell you, and then say, but you're sounding like a creationist. You want to preserve what's here. Isn't evolution based on survival of the fittest? You see, real evolution teaches that if evolution selects the whale for extinction, bye-bye. It goes the way of the dodo bird. And so who are you to question evolution by saving the whales? You see, they don't even believe their own philosophy. They don't believe in evolution because real evolution says nature red in tooth and claw, fight your way, avoid extinction, and let those who can't compete with you be extinct and you survive. Maybe evolution has selected whales for extinction because evolution knows that something better has to come from their extinction. That's how you answer their question. Thank you.